Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Scrap Mechanic in the Town. Now, I am very excited to show you guys what's happening here today. As many of you might know that I've talked about doing districts for the past couple of episodes, and you guys have seemed to agree that that's the best way to start to build this town, and to be able to put it together in a more efficient, less laggy way. So you're getting a little overview as to what we've done so far, and also we do have a new building to show you guys today. It's the much requested gym. But as you can see here, we're going to have fully connected roads, working intersections, and overall this is going to be a much cleaner town. It's going to run a whole lot better, and we'll be able to do this in districts, and I'll be able to use a lot more of the viewer creations that I just couldn't put in the town before because it lagged too much. But anyways folks, if you are enjoying Scrap Mechanic, be sure to leave this video a thumbs up, and let's jump right into this. Alright, we are in the Ville commercial district. Now what you're probably going to notice is the whole fact that we are in a flat map. I've done this for a reason. The last couple of town maps have been really hard to build roads on, and I've had to sacrifice quite a bit. I've never had proper intersections. My roads have always had to go around trees or really odd obstacles, and overall it's made it really inconvenient to build towns. Now we have a completely flat area that we can build working four-way intersections and really do a lot of things with the roads that I'm really excited about. Now, I know the only thing I'm a little disappointed about is losing mountains, because I like those, because you can build certain buildings on those, but this is overall a commercial district, so this is going to be your shops and your city services in this map. So overall, we're not losing too much. We're going to pull up, we're going to stop about right here, because I'm going to need to walk around and really just show you guys what's happened here, because it's absolutely fantastic. So what you're probably noticing here is our main city center. This is the city hall. This is from probably about 5 or 6 episodes ago, and I've moved it out here, and this is like the center of the town now, or the center of the commercial district. Now the roads officially loop around. You're noticing a lot of old buildings from the mixture of actually mostly the old town map. Now, people ask about the old town map all the time. Where is it? You know, what's going on with it? And currently it runs at about 5 FPS. It's terrible. And it's been ever since that new engine came out that it just hasn't run right at all. So I have gone and managed to cut out some of the buildings, some of the important buildings that would be in a commercial district. So you've got the police station, the fire station. These have all been completely updated. You've got new glass, you've got new lights, even the vehicles that go along with it. Here's the fire truck that's got new glass in it, and the lights have been changed. And overall, this is just running so much better. It's hard to explain. I'm running at about 100 frames a second right now, even with all these buildings spawned in, and all these cars spawned in. So across the street, this is going to be a little bit of a tour of what we got so far if you're wondering what's going on. Across the street we have the police station. That came out really nice, especially with the new glass. Here is the visitors center. This is from the last viewer creation episode. And some people might think, well, why do you have a city hall and a visitor center? Preferably I don't want to direct people into the city hall to figure out about the town. You would want them to go over to the city center or the visitor center to go in there and figure out what there is to do in the town. Now we're going to walk down this way, and there's the gym, by the way. We're about to go through that. Over here, this is the Starbucks. This was right around the time when the old town returned. This was probably like the second or third build that I did in that one. And I'm really happy about this building. The glass looks fantastic on it now. We've changed up the parking area. My ultimate goal here in the new commercial district is to have plenty of parking. So you can see we've added a lot to the back here. I'm going to try to keep people off the street. I know I have a lot of cars littered up and down the streets, but that's just to kind of show you guys how this is all turning out and how many vehicles I can truly have spawned in at once. So we've added lots to that. We have the supermarket well, this has been a while too. I was actually really happy with this building when it came out. We're going to take a quick peek. I do get a bit of FPS loss on this lot because this is a pretty complicated building. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a brief look at the inside. All new glass. It looks really good, and obviously that's something that oh, come on, door. Automatic doors sometimes, they're a thing. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that is awesome. I've added, like I said, the big lot here. You've got the pull around for the box trucks to go in and unload over there. Each lot has some sort of entrance and exit now. So I've played with the curves. I do need to add these slanted pieces to the curves to make it where, say if you have like a wheelchair, or most curves just have slanted areas for when you're going to cross and then get back up on the curve itself. So yeah, that's that area. Now, what we have here, we have a working loop. And I posted this on Twitter yesterday or the day before, and people were asking because I posted a picture of the stoplights. And yes, we finally have proper stoplights. These are all on timers and logic gates. Mr. Non-Newtonian, he's basically the logic guy that I go to. He was able to go in here, and let me show you guys the spider web for it. Each intersection's got a little module over here of logic gates, timers, and they all work. And you'll notice we didn't use lights, we had to use the gates themselves. So you've got your green, yellow, and red, but they're on timers. I believe the time is right around 45 seconds to a minute per light. I think it might be closer to a minute. And you'll see they'll change over. Now, if you're noticing several lights lit up, some of those are actually like turning lights, letting you know, okay, you can turn here. And it's just, the way they work, it's actually really cool. So you'd pull up. Now, another neat feature about these lights, they do have crosswalks. So say you want to get across the street here, we would click this button, and you can see the crosswalk signs. They will light up to let you know that you can cross, which is a really neat feature. You just got to give it a little second, and it'll go through a timer, and they'll light up, and you can cross the street, obviously. So yeah, we've got that. We've got 2 of those. Actually, you know, we have 3 intersections. No, 4. I forget that we've actually looped the road. And that was another thing about the old town, or not the old town, but the one we've been playing on. I didn't have a loop at all. Like, you couldn't drive around town. You always had to stop, turn around at a dead end, and then go back. Now, with the ultimate goal of the commercial district is to have it where we can actually go around and not have to stop and turn around at a dead end. So that's going to work out really good, and I'm really excited about that. So we'll have proper roads, proper loops. Now, as far as the new building here, we have a gym. This, if anybody goes to a gym, it kind of looks like a Gold's Gym. I'm not going to write that on the building, of course. I don't typically do that. So this is a new addition. This was surprisingly requested quite a bit for the town. So we're going to take a tour of it, and then we'll finish up and talk a little bit more about what's going to happen with the commercial district. But let's go ahead and hop right in here. Now, as far as the building looks fantastic. I love the look of it. I went off several pictures of Gold's Gyms. This is more like a modern one. Some of these things, they vary wildly. Some of these gyms are in like old beat down buildings, but I figured we need a purpose-built facility here. So you've got that, you've got your parking out here. Of course, we're right by the supermarket. You're right by the loop here. We might, actually, I'm going to send a street up beside it, and we'll probably have another business right across the street from it. So we're going to do that. I know it looks a little incomplete around the building itself, but I will fix that. But yeah, let's hop in real quick and check it out. The door's right here, and here we go. Most gyms are just really one big room. Now, you do have some really big facilities. There's some gyms that are like 2 and 3 stories, but I wasn't going to go for that because obviously this isn't a building that we're going to use a whole lot. I don't picture going back in here. This might be something if you guys are role-playing or just going in and walking around in town. You're probably going to go in here once and not touch it again. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to make like a multi-story gym. So anyways, here's like the check-in counter. You got your membership, or you're going to sign up. You can flash it here. Over here we have a little store area. A lot of times you can go in here and buy vitamins, protein shakes, equipment, whatever you want to buy. We even got these little mugs, little commemorative mugs. I don't actually have a name for the gym, by the way. We'll probably have to name that. But yeah, you'll have those. You can go in, buy some stuff here. Now, you've got locker rooms beyond that. Obviously, you've got the boy, girl locker room. Let's see, we're going to pop into here, show you guys this real quick. This is pretty basic. This was kind of a last minute, we need locker rooms, and I don't want to use a whole lot of space for it. Now, these locker rooms are complete with lockers. You do have a bathroom in here and a shower, so you can open these up. So yeah, there's not like a whole bunch of showers in here. I just needed to have this in the building to represent like, yes, we do have lockers. We do have all the stuff required for a gym. So you've got that. Pretty much the ladies or the girls, that's pretty much the same here. It's got the same setup, nothing different. So let's walk out here. I've got a third room. We'll go over that last. That's just kind of a little bonus room for the gym itself. Now, as far as the way this came out, I'm really happy with the interior. Like I said, it isn't a big open area, but it does have quite a bit of flair to it. Obviously, you've got the really big, it's like a skylight here. It's going to let in some light. I kind of wish we could change the sun position because I would like to see the sun beaming in this way. I mean, obviously, I could just move the building across the street, but I like its position. So you've got that. You're probably noticing the huge fan, and yes, this is a thing in a lot of gyms. Almost every picture of a Gold's gym that I saw had some sort of huge fan, so that's what that is. That's actually kind of scary. I don't think I'd want that above me while I was working out. It's kind of creepy. But anyways, we've got tons of equipment in here, and like I said, Mr. Non-Newtonian and me sat down. We just stuck some equipment, just try to make it as best as we could with the scrap mechanic materials. It can be a little bit of a challenge. So we've got weight benches here. Normally they have some sort of concrete floor below them, just in case you're dropping these. Obviously heavy weights wouldn't do good on a wood floor, so that's why the floor changes up in certain places. Over here, these are those resistance bars that you pull down, or you've got the little leg workout things here. You've got a bunch of dumbbells over here, so if you want to take those off and go lift some weights, you've got those. Obviously around the gyms, a lot of them have tons of TVs, so we have TVs set up in the corners, and where all the bicycles are, there's TVs up there for them. Now, these treadmills, initially I thought, and I think we even have a version of it that does this, I thought maybe we'll stick a bunch of bearings on it, but I went ahead and didn't do that because it just doesn't seem like that would be a good idea to have that many bearings in the building. It'd probably create a lot of lag. So Non-Newtonian, he had something with the logic gates here, which it's kind of like simulating running. So you can click this button here, and it's like the treadmill's running or going back. And if you run against it, it actually looks like you're using it, oddly enough. So that's actually kind of cool. I don't know. I kind of wish we could get a working one because it would be funny to watch myself fling off. But bearing-wise, that would be a pain in the butt. Over here is just some decorations. You got another flat screen TV against the wall. Back here, you've got a lot of gyms have a huge mirror in them. I don't really know. Maybe people just want to go look at themselves after they've worked out. It's always kind of a weird thing to see that, but almost every gym has like a wall mirror. So that's what that is. You got a little punching bag here. If you want to, I guess, take out your aggression, or maybe we'll grab the hammer and just hit it that way. Back here, these are actually really cool. These are bikes. Now, there's something really cool about these. So if you stand on this sensor here, now it doesn't look like you're using it, but the bike itself does pedal. So all of them have that. I was a little concerned. It's like, all right, well, that's going to be a lot of bearings, but it really hasn't affected the building at all. I'm still getting 100 FPS on the lot. Now, the last room in the gym is going to be a little massage room. This is for after your post-workout, say you're sore. We'll have a massage therapist here on site. Here's a little table. We've got a couple lockers to change in. It's just a small room. And we were just kind of put in a box with this room. By the time I built the locker rooms, and I was like, I've got a little space over here, because initially I was like, well, maybe we'll have like some sort of yoga room or something, and it wasn't going to fit in here. So next best thing to do would be like a massage room. So that's what that is. But anyways, this is a little bit of a, I wouldn't say it's a smaller build. It's actually a pretty decent sized building, and it looks fantastic, but I need it, I knew since I was doing this district and setting it up, I still wanted to get you guys some sort of new building to look at, so that's really the main reason I did this gym. Now let's go ahead and close those doors there. Alright, so kind of as an overview here, there's the new gym. This new town, I've never been this excited for a town build, and I finally feel like we're going to have a proper town that's going to have services, going to have working roads, lights. We're going to do tons of stuff with this commercial district. I will eventually introduce more districts. The industrial district will be last. I do want to move over to a residential one because I get a lot of viewer creation houses, and I have ideas for houses, but I've never been truly able to do that. And so we're going to set up a proper neighborhood, So all those viewer creation houses that I looked at in my viewer creation episode, I will finally find a home for those. And I think that's going to turn out absolutely fantastic. So we'll have that district. Of course, we got the truck stop world, and then eventually we will do an industrial world. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. For the most part, everybody was pretty accepting of the district idea. Some people were against it, but people have to realize Scrap Mechanic has its limitations right now, and just spamming a whole bunch of buildings in a terrain map is not really logical because it creates lag quicker than it used to. So now I feel like we're really going to be able to dig in, build some pretty advanced buildings, and really get some town builds together that I think you guys will enjoy. Now comment below with new town ideas or new buildings. It could be restaurants, it could be anything commercial that you want to see. I know one build we're going to do, and I know I've done one before. We're going to do another bank. I have some really good ideas for it, and Non-Newtonian also has some really cool logic, like safe areas or vault areas that we want to possibly do. And overall, I can't cut the one up in the old town because it is built into the ground, so I think we're going to do another one of those. But anyways, hopefully you have some great suggestions. Hopefully you enjoyed this. We'll leave the download in the description. Of course, all the buildings are on the workshop if you just want to download those. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. Thank you guys for being awesome, and we will see you guys next time in the Scrap Mechanic Town. Thank you.